This NFL Picks Week 8 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is presented by WynnBet. Bet $100 at WynnBet and get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by the SGPN merch store. Use the promo code NFC Beast for 15% off, active until the Eagles or Giants lose their next game. And make sure to enter our World Series prop contest. Winner gets $200 cash and a $200 SGPN gift card. Enter today exclusively on the SGPN app.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog. Are we still dancing by ourselves, or what's is that? Did I get it right, Sean? Okay.
Dancing on our own, Ryan. But don't worry, I'm laser focused.
Is that a metaphor
the
for
National Football League?
Is this like something Jack Chambers does? Dance on his own?
Might be doing a little what is it? The four knuckle shuffle, dancing on his own.
Where's the fifth knuckle go, Sean?
Figure it out there.
Dick Olson knows.
Yeah. All right, we're here talking NFL picks. Week 8, and of course, shout out to the live YouTube audience, youtube.com/sports gambling podcast. Hit subscribe, comment on any video. Every video you comment on is another entry to win an autographed Lawrence Taylor or Brian Dawkins jersey, your choice. And then turn the notifications on YouTube, 1, so you know when we're live, but 2, so when we try and contact you saying, hey, you've won the jersey, you don't miss out.
I love that. It's important. Don't you want your prize?
Yeah.
Nothing worse than we get an email 6 months later. You guys never sent me my thing.
We tried contacting you. Trust me. You'd be surprised how many times people win things and then never follow up, don't respond to the email, don't give us any contact information, don't send us a size.
I may have a couple draft day posters that are already signed, just not being claimed right now. So
they're waiting. The ultimate draft day experience.
maybe I just send one to Dable.
Yeah. Little
Can we quick have a draft day like discussion?
Sure.
We were talking about it with Czar, Bills Mafia, and an editor over at sportsgamblingpodcast.com about the idea that Russ, much like I forget the character's name, Bo something or other, we're wondering if people went to Russ Wilson's birthday party, because now if we draw it all the way back, what happened? Well, he was forced out of NC State for Mike Glennon. I brought this up many times and I thought it was silly, but what if Russ was just a weirdo? And he wanted him to fuck out of there. He goes to Wisconsin. He's a great year, but it's only 1 year. Not enough time to get weird. Then he gets drafted in the 3rd round. Why does he fall to the 3rd round?
Because he's weird.
Because he's weird. Maybe no one was at his birthday party.
Yeah.
And then Pete Carroll threw him up on his shoulders for all those years while he was, not only was he coaching the Seattle Seahawks and bringing them to Super Bowl championships, propping Russ up, but he was also finding out what happened with building number 7. All of this. Meanwhile, Russ leaves, gets a big contract, and couldn't suck harder.
Did you see Pete Carroll was diving pretty deep into some conspiracy theories. He goes, well, one, we got to be careful about adding all these new stadiums with turf. He's like, you got to play this game on real grass. He goes, we got to do right by the players. And then he adds in an extra level, but you know why they're making all these stadiums turf. I mean, I'll let you guys figure out who's getting paid on that end. So he has a conspiracy theory that there's someone's getting paid off to make all these stadiums artificial turf.
I heard someone bring it up because we're having, once again, we're having all these like critical injuries to big time stars in the league.
Yeah.
And we have data on that shows that turf creates more injuries.
100%. Veteran Stadium killed men.
Well, hold on though, because the argument for turf is actually a fair one if you get to the lower levels. A lumpy field at a park might be more dangerous than a predictably flat turf field.
Okay,
that's fair. But these are multi-billion-dollar organizations. How are they not spending the money? This feels a little bit like CTE 25 years ago.
Just grow the real grass. I mean, Arizona
It
grows.
doesn't cost that much. They do it in the fucking desert.
Arizona grows the real grass outside and then rolls it in. It's badass.
It creates jobs too. People that are into horticulture and botanists and I don't know, grass engineers, turf engineers.
Turf engineers. Hey, we're not here to talk grass. We're here to talk green, aka how to make some green. You can start off with some free green, courtesy of our good buddies over at WinBet. That's right, bet $100, get $100 free bet. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/WinBet. Sign up using that link. I know what you're thinking, like, oh, you got to do some rollover bonus. It's a pain in the ass. No, when I was in the state of Arizona, I signed up for WinBet. I'm like, awesome. They didn't realize that. Am I not eligible? Who knows? I got that $100 free bet. I immediately put it on the Steelers money line against the Bills. That was a complete disaster, but it was very easy to bet $100, get that $100 free bet. And newsflash, guys, each WinBet state you go to, you can sign up for that free $100 bet. Again, I don't know if they want me to tell you that, but you can do that. You can just go from WinBet state to WinBet state like you're following the goddamn Grateful Dead, signing up for these free promos. Let's go. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/WinBet.
That's a great bit. Like it's a jam band, but it's just dudes looking to get bonuses.
Following the promo codes. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at WinBet.com. See 21 or older and present to say where WinBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Ryan. Super team assemble. We have to.
Do we?
Well,
you don't want to
talk about.
You don't want to wait till we get to the Eagles.
Okay,
we can talk about it. They're 6-0. I'll let you talk.
All right. Eagles acquire Robert Quinn. Another great trade by the great Howie Roseman. There's a video circulating. It's like a Howie Roseman.
The Many Men.
Yes, it's pretty fun, Ryan.
I'm good with it.
It's 50 Cent's Many Men Wish Death Upon Me, and it's a highlight reel of Howie Roseman, like, you know, him with the binoculars, him like fist bumping guys. That time where he tried to fist bump a guy for the draft and he left him hanging.
I like that.
Howie's a badass.
I'll say this, unlike you. See, I would be willing to say this dancing on my own bullshit is not something I'm getting behind. But Howie Roseman, I'll pay that man respect. He keeps fleecing these fucking GMs. At some point, don't you just not answer the phone when he calls?
Well, here's the thing.
What did the Bears do here, short of cutting Robert Quinn?
Yeah.
You're telling me this was the best offer.
They got a free 4th round pick. But
no,
they still had to pay
they
Robert
paid $7
Quinn.
million for it.
The Eagles get Robert Quinn for the vet minimum. And there's no, if they cut him at the end of the year, there's no dead cap hit.
So you trade him in the conference for you pay you pay to get him off your team. So either he's a cancer or what are the Bears doing? Isn't this isn't Poles supposed to be some sort of fucking young genius?
Is this analytics play?
Daddy, Howie, can you do a trade with me? Do me next. Why would you call? I don't like. I'm not even mad about it. I'm not worried about it. Andrew Thomas owns Robert Quinn. So that aside, he's going to now get his ass beat 3 times this year because he already got shut down once on the Bears.
Well, I don't even know how much.
But what? I don't understand. Like, if you want to talk about conspiracy theories, I don't understand this deal. I don't understand this deal for the Bears. What are you doing?
You get a 4th round pick. I mean, that's all they got. Yeah, I don't get it.
You get 4th round picks for getting a fucking offensive coordinator hired or a quarterbacks coach hired. Like, what are you doing? What's your plan?
Comp picks are better than 4th round picks for the most part.
Because they're 3rd round in a lot of cases for those coaches.
Yeah, usually it's the end of the 3rd round, pre-4th round.
If you're like, I understand you're happy about this, but what do the Bears get?
I think it's just you create more opportunity for the young guys. That's the only thing that makes sense.
The Giants don't have a problem putting Kadarius Toney on the bench or Kenny Galladay on the bench. I don't understand what they're doing. They don't have control. If you're a Bears fan, go fuck yourself for coming at me with this record bullshit. They suck. They're selling their franchise. Fuck off. You know how many times I get tagged and shit because I predicted them to go 3-14? You're acting like a 3-14 team.
How many wins do they have?
I stomped all over your. I did just pick up Justin Fields in fantasy. I don't tell anyone.
Ryan, again, you don't need to tell me. I look at my underdog best ball. Every single draft has Justin Fields in there.
I just want to know like two things. Like if you're running a team and you call Howie Roseman and he agrees to the deal right away, how do you not know you're an idiot? This is the statement of like if you don't know that you're the fucking you're the guy that everyone's going to take the money from. Why am I blanking on what that's called? If you don't realize you're the fish in the room, you are like you're the fish. This is insane. I fucked it up twice, but it's insane to think that this we touted this GM as a smart man.
Yes. No, it's I don't really understand from the Bears move. I guess. Yeah, I guess they're just looking to play the young guys, and they
fourth round pick. What do those turn into usually?
Not much. Yeah, so I'm loving the trade. The chat is alive and well. Ryan, research Spherical Earth saying Howie about to be on America's Most Wanted. Rob the Bears blind. Research Flat Earth saying he's definitely here for talking about conspiracy theories all show. Too bad it's not a call-in show.
He was pointing out that we really should be looking into Building 6, not Building 7. So we'll have to circle back on that one. I just don't understand. Like I understand when you're making a trade and you're getting a pick and you're offloading some salary, but you're paying for the pick. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
you're saving dead cap space, I'm sure, in some capacity.
Yep. Future cap space.
Is his contract till next year?
He has. Well, I don't know how it worked, but the Eagles can cut him beginning, or they can cut him at any time and not owe him anything. And
if the Eagles cut him, do the Bears have dead cap?
That I don't know. I don't know how that shit works.
So on the dead cap conversation, because I do have a random nugget, when the Colts cut Matt Ryan, he's going to cost them $8 million in dead cap next year because they restructured him this year. That's fucking funny too. Bad franchises all over the land. Anyway, congratulations to the Eagles in the trade.
Thank you.
I would be a little concerned. Like there is I know I'm being a hater right now.
Yeah,
but
clearly.
Sometimes they ship the old guys out of town because they're a problem with the culture, the new culture. I know he gets sacks. I mean, he had 18, 19 sacks last year.
Yeah, but I mean, I think
went to North Carolina, probably a guy who no allegiances, takes the bag.
If you're coming into a weak locker room, but this Eagles locker room is anything but weak. Like they have a strong culture. I
just don't get why you call Howie Roseman to make a trade. You're telling me you couldn't have gotten a better offer from someone outside the conference?
Yeah, I mean,
this is the part I don't get. Did you not shop? You just went to the first store and bought eggs for $50?
Well, especially if you're agreeing to pick up his entire salary, you're telling me.
What did you negotiate? What did you get out of the deal? A fourth rounder instead of a sixth rounder? Is it even a conditional fourth rounder that can go up?
That I don't know.
Right.
Anyway.
So
someone's asking for the link to the Howie Roseman Many Men video. I'll put it in the YouTube chat.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
I mean, can we play it without?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll slack it to you, or it's in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, we'll get it right here. Let's see if we can figure this out.
Yeah, we'll get a copyright notification from YouTube, but who cares? It's worth it for the Howie Roseman hype reel.
This is gonna take a second. Well, I'll have it. I'll show it during the Eagles pick. How about
All right, I like that. That's a nice little radio tease. Let's get to it. Thursday night action.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So we thought for a second we might have a close your eyes special here. Baltimore Ravens heading to Tampa Bay to take on the Bucks. Bucks -1.5. Unfortunately, they're no longer the dog. I'm sure you saw it on the interweb, Sean, but 20% of the action coming on the Bucks, and yet the line moves from Baltimore -1.5 to Tampa -1.5.
Well, they knew we were taping the podcast.
-125 for the Bucks, +105 for the Ravens. 46 is the total. First things first. That's like a tiny little move. That's nothing. That's short of a 2.5 to 3 move. This is purely just keeping us off the Bucks as a close your eyes special, I believe. This is also the books understanding they're going to take Tampa money later in the week.
Yeah.
And the line was never going to get to -3. So why dangle it at -1.5 for the Ravens when you can flip it around? You're probably protecting yourself from some teasers. Look, I think, I'm a contrarian who likes to continually buy low on dumpster fires. And sometimes it takes me a little longer to get there, but how How do you take this Baltimore? I mean, don't you just
The
play I gave it out of the
Baltimore
props, but the double result feels like the way to go.
Yeah, we taped the Thursday night props show. So if you want the first touchdown plays and some props, check that episode out with Joe Fan from WinBet. But Ryan, yeah, like I'm with you. How can you take this Ravens team on the road? I get why you want to fade the Bucks right now. They look like dog shit. Someone on Twitter goes, we need to come up with a name for a team that's favored by, in the Bucks case, 13 points and only scores 3 points. It's like the equivalent of not hitting it past the ladies' tee in golf. I couldn't think
They
of
lost.
any.
They lost to themselves.
No, it's crazy.
Take your dicks out and walk down the fairway.
That being said, this team still has so much talent. And how can you take the Ravens? Well, especially when the Ravens were a non-conference road favorite on that short Thursday week.
Especially because I feel like we've seen this before. The Ravens coming off a divisional spot. It's not Tom Brady and the like vaunted Bucks. I joked about a look ahead spot last week. It's just not there. And you know, the problem is that what if this is the end for Tom Brady? He's now lost 5 in a row against the spread. He's now off to his worst start since 2002.
Yeah, there's a bunch of crazy
2002
worst points per game, worst win loss, like so many different things.
That was the worst second worst ATS loss of his career.
Yeah,
lost as a 17.5 point favorite to the Dolphins in 2019. But I mean, doesn't that create perceived value? Isn't that what the idea of the close your eyes special is? And I would argue that at -1.5, it's basically a pick 'em anyway. So you could argue that the logic that lands us on the dog for these spots still holds true for Tampa. Look, I think the biggest thing here is, do we believe there's a curse or do we not believe there's a curse? Because if there's a curse, I have a feeling not only will Tom Brady still be cursed, but Lamar will get some sort of like added help from the witches.
Witchcraft is the only reason I can really talk myself into the Ravens, because Mark Andrews is still not 100%. He's listed as questionable. Obviously,
the whole team's
obviously he's going to play, but yeah, questionable on a short week.
Calais Campbell's out too, and he's in the interior of that defensive
Calais
line.
Campbell is huge
for the Ravens,
and really, this is why the Bucks team is struggling. That interior offensive line. You know, we were made aware of all these injuries. I at least was still like optimistic they would figure it out, or the fact that Brady is so good with the quick passing game, they're going to be all right. But really, they've looked like complete shit.
Baltimore is top 10 in DVOA in both rushing and passing, 5th in passing, 7th in rushing, which almost still seems wrong based on watching Lamar make every pass. But Tampa,
they figure out ways to lose too. Ravens are 31st in defensive EPA since week 2. Big plays in both the running and the passing attack. Like, this is the team you want to get right against.
Tampa is still a good defense, Sean. They're still 5th overall, 6th in pass, and 11th in rush. The issue is they're not the same running team they have been. I do think Baltimore could run it down their throat, but I think we're going to see the classic Baltimore. Baltimore wins the first half. Tampa comes back. Tom Brady gets it done because he's not done yet, right?
Yeah,
he can't possibly be done yet.
I mean, you look at the Ravens on the road; they lost to the Giants.
Wow, that's a great Giants team.
And then that game against the Patriots, which the Patriots had we were on the Ravens, but they definitely had chances to blow that game. And then they beat the Jets week 1. But like, I don't know, this Ravens team, especially as of late, man, I don't. It's tough to trust them to cover a spread. I mean, they didn't cover against the Browns, didn't cover against the Bengals. Obviously, they lost outright to the Giants, pushed against the Bills. They're just, I get why you would want to fade the Bucks, but to me, it's more about fading the Ravens. Like, you could talk yourself into fading both teams. I'm going to take the home team on Thursday night. Let's go.
I've really not had a handle on these Thursday games. I'm going to play Tampa here. I don't love it because I still do think Baltimore is the better team. They just have found ways to choke. And fun fact about the NFC South, there's a couple permutations here where the Bucks, Falcons, Panthers, and Saints all end up with the same record after this weekend. So that could be fun.
Oh, look out, Ryan. What is the Panthers are like 20-1 to win the NFC South. That would be certainly a fun bet to place right now.
PJ Walker, baby. Houston Roughnecks. Oh, we're going with Phil?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's head over to across the pond, Sean. The Jacksonville, aka London Jaguars, are getting a home game. When are we going to move them over there for good? The hot tub probably doesn't play as well in the cold climate. All right, Jacksonville laying 2.5 at home, -140 on the money line. Denver +115. 40 is the total. Of course, everyone's familiar with the stories that have circulated. Russell Wilson. He's
don't mind me, Ryan. Just gonna randomly stretch.
Just it's important to keep the blood flowing when you are at altitude. I understand that. The report made it seem like he was being
those hammies.
Made it seem like he was annoying. At YouTube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. If you'd like to see Sean stretch, and I'll leave the teaser. Is Sean wearing pants? So you'll have to find out for yourself. I mean, I think at this point we highlighted the case for why Russ is a weirdo. Why the Broncos, who changed ownership since the deal, are already walking back the head coach and Russ, as like ownership group is not tied to Russ or Hackett. There's real smoke coming out of the plane on the way over there that Hackett might get left on the tarmac.
Oh, that would be, and this is the perfect spot. One, Jags are 4-4 in London, 4-4 straight up, 4-4 against the spread, which is a great trend by Jacksonville standards to be 4-4.
Can I pay them a compliment too?
Sure.
Watched every snap of their game last week. They were good. And you know, if they don't fucking make some stupid like some boneheaded mistakes, if Xavier McKinney, I love how McKinney gets no credit for stripping ETN. If ETN doesn't drop the ball running into he got fucking tackled. But they look good. ETN looks good. And James Robinson's been shipped out of town.
And obviously the Broncos have a really good defense, Ryan, but how did they lose the game? They gave up big explosive plays to Breece Hall, which you could see Travis Etienne having some big explosive plays. This is a
plus
yes.
they're gonna it's I mean the defense of Jacksonville is also not bad.
No, they're not bad at all. This is a fun nugget I found. Trevor Lawrence, Ryan, is 1-19 in games where the defense allows more than 11 points, which is perfect.
Whoa.
This is the prime spot. I mean, I'm setting the Broncos team total at 10.5.
They've been averaging 16.
Yeah,
giving up 16. That was the other note. They've been average giving up 16 points, and they've only won 2 games. Sean, can you imagine that?
Chad Graham saying, I missed it. What did Russ do? There was just a news story about how he did like 4 hours of stretching and high knees and all this like routine on the plane over there. He's not 100%. He's just not.
Basically, picture that shit you see him do on the field pregame where he's like visualizing football.
I imagine him doing that Dak Prescott, like the samba.
Can you imagine
dance up and down the aisles?
Imagine practicing football that much and still sucking at it.
It is just tough time for
the
Broncos, and the Broncos offense is completely cooked. One last note, Ryan, I do think, we've talked about it with Thursday Night Football where rookie head coaches struggle on Thursday Night Football, right? It's like, it's a different way to prepare that whole thing.
Schedule stuff.
Yeah. And going over to London for Nathaniel Hackett, who's clearly lost the team, has no like real approach. One week he's benching Melvin Gordon, the other he's giving him like 80% of the carries. He really doesn't
control.
They don't have a plan. It's one thing, like you got to find that balance of having a plan. Okay, shit happens. We're going to adjust the plan to just like scattershot, trying to do a little bit of everything. And that's where the Broncos are right now. I don't think the team has any confidence in Nathaniel Hackett or in Russell Wilson. And Doug Peterson has taken a team over to has prepared a team to go over to London, get the win, ironically against the Jaguars.
He's done it before.
Yeah.
I think there's some value in that. I think the Jags as a franchise, even like kind of layering on top of that,
they know how to do this.
They go every year.
Yeah.
So certainly they know what they're doing. And frankly, I want to say all the teams that have left early have lost and not covered. I could be wrong there. Packers left before the Giants, Saints left before the Vikings, and now we know the Broncos left like Monday night. Imagine hanging out with Russ in London for.
Oh my God!
I really
come
hope,
on, dog. Let's see Buckingham Palace, dog.
I really hope
that story that guy sent in about Russell Okung. When the Russell Wilson commercial came on and he just stood up in the random bar and yelled, "Shut the fuck up!"
Yeah,
that was great. I mean, that's all you need to know.
Yeah. I mean, I just really hope. Shout out to the Soccer Gambling Podcast. I hope Billy interacts with Russ while he's over there because I'd love to hear a story.
Billy is gonna try, I think, to get a photo, get an autograph. with the Wolverine himself.
Yeah, I mean he's completely cursed Aaron Rodgers since he met him over in London. So
That was pretty funny.
Maybe-
All the people he's gotten
maybe Billy's the witch.
photos with recently have been completely cursed. So
Do you practice witchcraft, Billy?
it's a shame the Cowboys aren't going over there this year.
Coming off Monday Night Football, the Chicago Bears we're off to normal kick time, Sean, which will be noon for us because we'll be in
Yeah.
Houston.
Shout out to all the people that want to kill me on Twitter, aka the Houston Astros fans. Who I posted what I thought was a pretty benign video of in the SGPN offices we have a recycling and a garbage bin. The garbage bin, is the garbage bin because we have a Cowboys pennant taped to the top of it. Me being a comedic genius said, all right, oh, hey, it's the World Series. I'll update it. I'll cut out a Houston Astros logo, paste it on top of the Dallas Cowboys one, give it the finger and put it up on the internet. And wow, it was Houston's Astros Twitter, which I didn't even realize was the thing. They came after me pretty hard. I'm all in on the World Series. And shout out to the people who want to beat me up. I'll be at the Courtyard Marriott in Houston. I'll also be at the A&M game. Feel free to come say hi and try and kick my ass.
I mean, I'm going to be there. I mean, come on, Sean. You don't have a great record of taking on large groups of people.
Oh, right. I'm not nervous about these Astros fans. The funniest thing is, like, clearly they were super upset, and I really struck a nerve. All of them said how they weren't mad. I go, oh, you're big mad right now. No, I'm not mad. That's just stupid. It's an old joke. Well, we haven't played you in the playoffs since this happened.
So are they getting mad? Not because you put their logo on a garbage can.
Oh, no.
But because the garbage can indicates the cheating that never happened.
No. No one even denies the cheating happened. Their angle is either A, everyone cheats, or B, that happened 5 years ago, get over it, or that joke's not even funny, you're a hack. And sorry, I'm not as nuanced with baseball Twitter. Should I have done a Jose Altuve wearing a buzzer thing? The trash can's a layup.
You want to talk about conspiracy theories? Ever since the FBI investigated the Cardinals for hacking the Astros, Astros have had some good luck. Yeah.
I mean,
right.
Who cares?
Noon
It's
kick,
baseball.
where we'll be. This is a 10 a.m. kick in beautiful Las Vegas. The Chicago Bears coming off Monday Night Football. Huge win. My bad. I'm wrong. The Bears are a great franchise. Totally wrong about the Bears. They look great.
Now that's sarcasm.
By the way, we'll get to when we talk New England, but Belichick showing his age maybe for the first time ever, looking like an old senile man talking in circles. Dallas is taking on the Bears. They're laying 9.5, -470 on the money line, 345 for the Bears. 42.5 is the total. So you could argue with me that the reason you don't take the Bears is because the same thing can happen last week, or as did happen last week, where the Cowboys struggled to score a lot of points. The Lions were in the game, and then bam, defensive touchdown.
Cowboys were up. They were only up 10-6 going into the fourth quarter against Detroit. I think what's different about this game, Ryan, is the running quarterback option with Justin Fields. And they do a ton of the read option stuff. They do a ton of the misdirection stuff. When you have a dominant edge rusher like Micah Parsons, that's a decent way to neutralize him. Maybe they get cute and set Justin Fields as a drop back passer, but I think they've come to terms with, like, hey, this isn't how he succeeds. We're going to,
The smart people in the building figured it out finally.
No, I mean, watch that game against the Patriots. Did they drop him back like a normal quarterback? No, they've given him one read looks. They're letting him run the ball a ton, and the Patriots struggle with rushing quarterbacks, and so did the Cowboys. Like, I think a lot of the stuff that the Eagles did that worked against the Cowboys defense, I think the Bears are going to be able to do against the Cowboys. For me, the biggest thing here, and I was this close, Ryan. I was this close to picking the Cowboys.
No, you weren't.
And then I see Zeke is out. Zeke was the guy who actually put the team on his back these past couple of weeks. He was the only one who really got the offense going against the Eagles. He was the one who got them out of that sludge that they were doing offensively. If they just have Tony Pollard, who, again, the Cowboys have shown, hey, this guy isn't this isn't a 25 carry guy.
But he's better though.
He's better, but I don't think he
worried a
can.
little
Zeke has been good these past couple of games. I'm only willing to admit it now because he's not going to be playing, but Zeke has looked really good. I think they're going to miss Zeke.
I do think
big dogs have been great all season. Dogs over of 4 points or more in the NFL, 67.3%, including 6-3 ATS last week.
I do think you got to be careful though, because there is some data on like as the spread gets bigger, it tilts in the favor of the favorite a little bit more. The surprising thing to me was looking up and seeing Chicago's offensive line is now a top 10 offensive line in line yards, which tells me, to your point, the combination of Fields and Montgomery and Herbert, who by the way is just getting all the red zone carries, Sean. So
yeah,
enjoy that in best ball. Yeah, and obviously we're not taking the Cowboys. I'm taking the Bears, but
when to call.
You know, the number also not being 10. Why are they doing that? I just don't think Dak in this offense can score enough points. And I guess I'm leaning into the bump that Robert Quinn was a piece of shit. And, you know, Roquan Smith was crying and they're going to rally.
No, they might get a bump. I mean, they're on a short week.
I worry that
maybe Dallas's offense really finds its rhythm, but I think it's going to be tough for this Dallas team to blow out another team.
They got the bye on deck too, Sean.
Yeah, and Dak didn't look good.
No, I agree. All right, New England coming off Monday night, embarrassing loss. They would be a close your eyes special, Sean, on the road in New York, but they are laying 2.5, -140 on the money line, +115 for the Jets. 40.5 is the total. Why are they laying 2.5? Well, Belichick's playing a team he hates.
I mean, do you have the number? Because I pulled it.
If you have it, great. I actually did not, and I was just going to pull it from the last time they played
and just add one.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick 34-10 straight up versus the Jets in his time in New England. This is a guy who just beats the shit out of the Jets and the Browns. Belichick 34-15 against the spread after losing as a favorite. Let's be honest, the Jets' entire offense was Breece Hall. He had 15 plays of 10 or more. He look at that. You look at that the box score in the Broncos game.
It's like Breece Hall.
The Broncos destroyed the Jets in every capacity except Breece Hall got loose. And Breece Hall is really good. I wasn't that high on him. I was surprised that his game speed is off the charts. Again, I still think Michael Carter is decent, but he didn't have that next level thing that clearly Breece Hall has. And the Patriots offense is a little suspect. Mac Jones is going to be starting according to my sources. Really, another thing
that was weird.
What?
Oh, just
the whole way they played that.
Did you dive in? Did you see that Mac Jones interception might have hit the wire?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Sky cam. The NFL claims it didn't. And Belichick claims that the interception had nothing to do with him then not playing anymore after that for a couple of series. Very strange stuff. It seems like Belichick's losing it, or maybe this is the Matt Patricia offense we all signed up for. You know what they say if you have two quarterbacks,
you have none. RT points out teams off a primetime loss 10-2. Pat's money line, easy play. Yeah. I think this is just he's going to have these players' ears the entire week. And this Jets thing just feels like how long can this go? I mean Zach Wilson just looks horrible. And last but not least, I feel horrible for Jets fans because not only do you lose Breece Hall for an ACL, which sucks for a rookie running back, right? Because he can recover, but maybe not 100%.
It's going to take a bit.
Yeah, or next year, is he going to be completely 100%?
You saw this with Barkley. Barkley looks completely different this year than he did last year.
Yeah, it's like they can play, but they're not the same. And then really Elijah Vera Tucker, who is playing a couple different positions for the Jets offensive line, really helping them. And I think Belichick and his fucking mullet loving son are going to dial up some pressure to confuse Zach Wilson, who still doesn't seem like he really sees the offense. He doesn't seem like he has a great handle on the offense.
The difference, the difference has been nothing more than him, just being a guy getting out there and handing the ball off. All right.
I mean, the only thing I don't like about this is that it's New England -2.5. I'd rather make it 3. Laying the 2.5 as a road favorite always scares me.
Also, the fact
that I
that
love New England.
The Jets might be good and New England might suck. That's the other elephant in the room. Now, real quick, nugget on the Jets. They played 0 games where a starting quarterback for both teams was playing. the intended starter. So Joe Flacco played a bunch of games. They had quarterbacks go out, a la the Miami game. So they've had some weird outcomes. And to your point, I think did you throw out the combined number for him versus the Browns and the Jets?
No.
9-2 versus the Browns all time, 35-11 versus the Jets straight up is what I have. So it, like you said, motivation spot, and you take it another step. I mean, Robert Kraft, I don't know if you ever heard him talk about the Belichick situation. It pissed him off. He had to give up a first round pick. Pissed him off a lot. He had to give a first round pick up, but probably worth it. New England laying the points, unfortunately. If Capper's in the chat, I'd be curious to know what he thinks. He probably hates that. It's a baby fucking wheel, but they seem to own the Jets. So
yeah,
Miami heads to Detroit. Definitely going to be some points in this one, right? -3.5 for the Dolphins, -180 on the money line. Lions +150, 51.5 is the total. They cover spreads. They play better at home. They basically haven't, like, if not for the Eagles game. Oh no, they covered against the Eagles. I take that back. They just cover at home, right? Isn't the simple handicap just that? The flip side is that their defense is going to give up big plays to the Miami offense.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm on Ross St. Brown. He will play.
Fake concussion.
But this is the list of people who missed practice today: TJ Hawkinson, defensive end Charles Harris, cornerback Mike Hughes, wide receiver Josh Reynolds, aka Khalif Raymond, is a nice play. Offensive guard Jonah Jackson, Matt Nelson, safety Deshaun Elliott, cornerback Chase Lucas, safety Fetu Mayafonwa.
Nice.
DeAndre Swift is scheduled to return. I think this Lions team is still pretty banged up. 2 games, Ryan, their last 2 games combined 6 points. It's tough to take this team. Now, granted, both those 2 games have been on the road.
Both those games have not had Swift and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
True. And again, it's been great for Jared Goff Sucks Island. The phone is back ringing. It's a great investment opportunity. Mortgage rates I know are rising, but the prices have gone down on Jared Goff Island. I've been selling a couple units past couple weeks.
I think Swift really, although they love Jamal Williams, I do think the combination of Swift and Amon-Ra St. Brown is enough for me to take them as a home dog. Come on, we've seen this game before. They lose by a field goal. I get it. Like I for the same reason you were hesitant on the 2.5 for New England. My instincts say, oh yeah, give me the Dolphins. They're gonna smash. Like they're gonna score 1,000,000 points.
Well, I do think this is still a good game, DFS wise. It's non-conference.
That's also part of my handicap.
It's non-conference. It's in a dome.
Miami,
but I'm worried. Like who is? I guess if Amon-Ra's 100%, I'll take him. But
he didn't have a concussion.
Worried. Yeah, but he's not doing a full week of practice. He's still. They're making him wear the red jersey. He's off to the side.
It's the new protocol. Like he didn't have a concussion. He's gonna clear, and he's gonna have a pissed off game. Because ever since his dad talked shit on Kevin Durant for not doing calf raises.
That is pretty funny.
He's been getting hurt a bunch. All right.
How's Kevin Durant not tweeted back at him? All right, you bullied me.
He has from his burner, I'm sure.
You bullied me into taking Detroit as home
interesting.
Dog. Nah, I was kind of liking Miami, but again, man, both these coaches.
Can
I
give you one reason why? Like the other thing is just eye test. Tua got away with no less than. I mean, if you want to be conservative, it was four
5 or 6 turnover worthy plays. And none of them were turnovers, which is insane. And Hutch looks had a little spark there. Shout out to Hutch.
Las Vegas, the Raiders, they're heading to Nolans. Coming off Thursday night football, the Saints are 1.5 point home dogs, +105 on the money line, -125 for the Raiders. 49.5 is the total. This kind of feels like one of the easier spots on the board. I'm not there with the Raiders. So what? You just ran the ball against the Houston Texans.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit. This is a tough spot. I don't know. And
Raiders 31st in pass defensive EPA. I mean, Davis Mills looked really good
for a little bit, for a
long time. Yeah,
I would say. No, that was a super long message in the chat, huh, Sean?
Some spam.
It just seems like this is the kind of
Raiders to me, much like the Dolphins, shouldn't be non-conference road favorites. What I'm worried about is the Saints are kind of like the they're a version of the Ravens where they just figure out ways to lose games. And Andy Dalton, maybe he got all his turnovers out last game. But I think they should be able to throw the ball. Like I love Olave in this game. I think this game again, like this game, the Dolphins Raiders the Dolphins Lions, and then even like Arizona Vikings. Like just use those 3 games for your lineup.
Is Latimer like? What's the word on Latimer? I don't have. He didn't practice Wednesday. I mean, there is a so the Raiders are like the poster child this year for they're so much better than the record.
Yeah.
Which,
Well, they have they have the same point differential as the Titans. Titans are 4-2. They're 2-4.
but all of that being said, I still don't know if they've earned the.
Well, and to your point too, like the Saints have fit a lot of that stuff too, where they put up some decent numbers. Again, like if Andy Dalton throws 2 pick sixes again, they're gonna lose. I've noticed last week both teams coming off Thursday covered ATS, and I think coming off the Thursday that becomes more valuable as the season goes along. So I think all those factors, I'm going to take the Saints as the home dog.
Oh, we're just skipping down the road again. Didn't work out well last week.
I thought it did all right.
Neither of us did well. Arizona heads.
I hit my dog, hit a lock.
Arizona heads to Minnesota. Arizona coming off the Thursday night game. Minnesota coming off a full bye. This number is very strange. Vikings -3.5, -200 on the money line. Arizona +165. 49 is the total. Minnesota is the opposite of the Raiders. Wow, overrated. It's a lot of smoke and mirrors here. They're better in the spaceship. That's probably why this is 3.5. The number says take the Vikings to me, but Kyler and Cliff on the road. Now let's talk about it.
Well, and with
the Call of Duty thing, the elephant in the room. He's had a week. He's been pounding on that bitch for a week.
Is he tired? I don't know. Are there any gamers in the YouTube chat? Like, have you spent your wad after? Like, let's say you have a long weekend. Is that are you done with the game, or are you that much deeper into it?
I don't know. Juju was hyping it up as a bonding opportunity for Kelsey, Mahomes, and MVS and him. So I don't know.
Maybe him and Cliff playing a little Call of Duty,
figuring out how to call plays together.
Him yelling at Cliff. I like that out of Kyler. I like that spunkiness.
You heard what D-Hop said, right?
No.
Oh, he goes, I appreciate playing on a team where two guys are that fired up about winning.
Well, I don't know if Cliff was fired up. He was just like, he was doing that again. He looks like a bad guy in every sort of 80s movie. He's got like the real gaunt eyes from hanging out in the lodge doing coke all night. And Kyler, someone did the voice, and it was like right from the Flintstones, where it's like Dino's voice from The Simpsons of. He's a little chirpy guy, but this is a perfect matchup for the Cardinals because you've seen the Vikings. The Vikings have struggled with high end receivers, right? You saw them struggle against the Eagles. You saw them, they struggle against the Dolphins receivers. I know they didn't end up winning that game, but the cornerbacks didn't play well. And, once Skyler got knocked out, it was kind of a different game, but they've not done well against good receivers. And so
they're playing a Skyler and a Kyler in the same year.
Yeah,
that's wild.
And working the River Craycraft.
Oh, so many. I mean, McDaniel certainly is smoking something in the circle. Yeah,
it's smoking my weed.
Arizona's the play, right? This is the highest scoring game of the weekend, I think.
Well, yeah, and Arizona's good ATS on the road. I'm still not in on the Vikings.
Dare I say something negative about the NFL? But there's some gross matchups this weekend. Speaking of which,
they feel very, very fraudulent. Ryan, before we get to the rest of the picks, shout out to No House Advantage. That's right. No House Advantage is changing the game, offering a dynamic fantasy platform over under player props. Again, you're listening to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I don't need to explain player props to you, but you got a sweet chance to win $250,000 in their player prop contest. Or if you just want to go up against the house, you go 5-0, you win 20x your entry. And it's not just NFL, NBA, MLB, PGA, MMA, NASCAR. And a lot of these contests are guaranteed money, AKA massive opportunity. Like if you really know NASCAR DFS, if you really know MMA, PGA, like there's just not a ton of competition. There are good opportunities for our listeners. NoHouseAdvantage.com, promo code SGPN, first deposit match up to $25. NoHouseAdvantage.com, promo code SGPN, first deposit match up to $25. We're also brought to you by Trade Coffee. Oh man, every day I wake up, I have an alarm set on the coffee maker. I have a whole bean coffee maker, Ryan. It is a game changer. So the night before, I fill up the coffee maker with my trade coffee, the whole bean. Wake up in the morning. It is just it's just, I don't know. When you hear people don't drink coffee, you're like, how do you live? What are you doing with your life? And again, life is too short to drink horrible coffee. When I was out in Arizona, I was super grumpy because we woke up at like 5 a.m. to go golfing, had to drink some gas station coffee. Oh, it's completely gross, completely disgusting. It's coffee. Like, it's an acquired taste. And the best thing about it is, you may have a specific flavor of coffee, blend of coffee you like. That's what's awesome about Trade. They got you covered. You take a coffee quiz, they match your coffee to your particular taste, and you're getting $30 off your subscription plus free shipping. That's right. Just go to drinktrade.com/SGP. That's drinktrade.com/SGP. $30 off your subscription. And hey, get a sweet SGP mug for your delicious Trade coffee. Support the program. Support yourself by just treat yourself to some awesome coffee. Drinktrade.com/SGP.
Nice work, Sean.
Thank you.
Next up, Carolina heading to Atlanta. I mean, what's better, the AFC South or the NFC South this year? I feel like they're both exotic in their own separate ways. All right, shout out to the Tiger King, by the way. If Link is listening, if he could hit me with one of those sweet Tiger King music videos on Sunday morning when I'm in Houston, I'd appreciate that. Go Astros. Carolina heads to Atlanta, -4.5 on the spread, -210 on the money line. 170 for the Carolina Panthers. 41.5 is the total. The dead cat bounce created 2.5 points of line value here, Sean. We were having this very conversation, like, oh shit, if I take the look ahead, or if I take the bet at the Atlanta spread on the look ahead at 6.5, like, what are the chances? Like, Panthers are going to get their ass beat. It's going to go north of 7s. What the opposite happens, and it moves down to 4.5. Atlanta can pound the rock, get up on Carolina, and be up on Carolina. That's the way. Like, Atlanta struggles when they even in a track meet, they're still trying to run the ball. And you're going to tell me that Philip Walker, I love the guy, but he's horrible. I mean, I shouldn't say he's horrible. He is not an NFL quarterback.
Not a starter. I think he's
Marcus Mariota. Very few times in the NFL season this year will have a decided advantage at the quarterback position. I think Atlanta runs for like 300 yards in this game.
PJ Walker had 5 completions of 20+ yards on 22 attempts last week, tied for third most behind Burrow and Mahomes.
Witchcraft trend. That
was some witchy stuff. But Panthers have done okay against teams that can't rush the passer. I think that is the counter. I'm with you though. Like, I think, and again, we picked the game pre Christian McCaffrey trade. I think we might have talked ourselves into the Carolina Panthers, especially when it closed at 14. Just the idea, I wouldn't have picked them. Never would have picked that money line, but I think we could have talked ourselves into them getting up for that game because everyone goes, "Oh, there's no chance they're going to win." Christian McCaffrey was their entire team.
And upon further review, I think McCaffrey not being there. Look, you see this in youth sports all the time. The best player on the team doesn't often make the team better because they're so good they do everything.
Yeah.
And when you take that person away, it allows
it's a Ewing theory, right?
It allows for the team to kind of have that wider trust circle. And obviously, where did the touches from McCaffrey go?
DJ Moore, super easy.
Which turns out that's
manufactured stuff.
Maybe DJ Moore is better than McCaffrey, and maybe the Niners just got fleeced like the Chicago Bears.
It does feel like the Falcons are just kind of a better version of the Panthers, right? Like a quarterback with a limited skill set, an offense that's just trying to manufacture yards via the running game or easy passing stuff.
I think the Falcons are going to continue to get disrespected because it's funny to say like, oh, they don't pass the ball. That's negative EV. They have Kyle, like people are mad because they're not getting Kyle Pitts involved and Drake London. Like the fantasy community's mad. The nerdy analytics community's mad. Meanwhile, I mean, if they don't blow that Saints game, they're in first place in this division. So this is an absolute must-win game for Atlanta. I don't think Carolina's trying to do shit. I think we witnessed the dead cat bounce off the concrete, and it was assisted by McCaffrey being dealt off and having a little extra motivation. we see this all the time. Subpar quarterback play on tape. What happens? I don't care that these guys are out for the Atlanta secondary. Walker's not. He's not. So many obvious things here. -4.5.
Let's. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on Atlanta. I think matchup wise they're a little bit closer, but I think this is just such a crater spot for the Panthers.
If the game doesn't happen if the game doesn't happen against the Bucks, it's a touchdown spread.
Yeah. So yeah, let's
which
take
is
Falcons
insane.
4.5.
All right, let's head over to that Pittsburgh Philly game. Philly coming off the
10.5.
Last of the early games, -10.5, -500 on the money line. Pittsburgh +400, 43.5 is the total. Sean, even you would say this scares you a tad bit because that's a big number.
But
y'all do play in the same state.
Yeah. There's a rivalry in hockey, not really for football. I think the Steelers are just gonna outright get their ass kicked. Maybe there's a world where the Eagles come out flat after the bye, but the Steelers, I think, I wouldn't call it a dream crusher game, but really that they've got to be pretty frustrated because they were in that game against Miami. Now I know historically Tomlin has been good against the dog, but look at this season. When he plays higher level teams, aka the Buffalo Bills, they just get completely butt fucked. And I think that's kind of what happens here. I think rookie quarterback versus this Eagles defense, this Eagles pass rush, this Eagles team that creates a ton of turnovers. Like, look at that Jacksonville game. They just really, I know Jacksonville, they got the pick six, they got that, kind of fluky touchdown. And then it was just game on. Like the defense turned on them and they were just off to the races.
I will say that, I mean, the number, like the style that Philly plays with, like they absolutely could kick their ass, but
no, I know what you mean.
Like if I'm an Eagles fan and whenever you're playing well, you don't want the bye. And so there's always question, like, are they going to come out with that same level of efficiency they were playing with? Jalen Hurts has been great. And they have a great, like this tees up a great passing matchup for him.
Yeah.
Which also creates concern for me if I'm backing the Eagles because like at some point he's going to throw a bad interception.
Yeah, I mean he threw a bad interception in that Jacksonville game,
and so
and they still recovered.
But they wouldn't have covered 10.5. But
they covered the number though. In that case, I just think the Steelers. To me, I think the Steelers are really just going to struggle to put up points. Like I don't see the Eagles cornerbacks match up well against the receivers.
They're very healthy.
Yeah, the Eagles defense is pretty healthy. I just, it's just a tough spot for the Steelers team. It's a non-conference game. I don't know if they're going to get up for this game.
They have to though.
It's a back-to-back road game.
There's a lot of but they're in desperation mode at this point, and they got a gunslinger, Sean. Kenny Pickett. I mean, which could turn into some defensive touchdowns. I definitely think I like path to covering is there.
Hassan Reddick is going to get to Kenny Pickett,
and he's popping off on the charts, on the pass rush charts this year. They also could be celebrating their newest acquisition, and I can play your fucking.
Oh yeah, play the Howie Roseman Many Men video, Ryan.
Many men wish death upon me. Blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see.
I just love the time that someone put together.
And niggas trying to take my life away. I put a hole in a nigga for fucking with me. My back on the wall, now you gon' see. Better watch how you talk when you talk about me. 'Cause I'll come and take
That's
your
my
life
favorite part.
away. Many men. Many,
the slow motion Super Bowl.
Wish death on me. Many men wish.
I don't even know if I don't know if Robert Quinn's going to actually play in the game or not. So we'll see with that. But they're going to be able to move the ball. Like Ryan, as a hater, what matchup are the Steelers going to consistently win here?
So the argument would be that they're able to challenge the defensive backs of the Eagles in a way that they haven't been challenged this year. They have like 3 very dynamic receivers that are very different. Now, personally, I would expect to see Bradbury on one of the big physical guys.
Yeah.
Slay on Deontay Johnson. Maybe.
I mean, we took care of Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, but have you played a team with like 3 legit guys like this? Now I understand it's Kenny Pickett and there's all of that.
Well, no, but I think this team is constructed to handle 3 good receivers because you have 3 guys. They're their nickel receiver, Avonte Maddox, Slay, and
I think
Bradbury are like
Maddox,
top 10.
Yeah, but Maddox struggles if they put Claypool in the slot. Like that's we were talking about this before. I think
No, then they'll put Bradbury on.
yeah. So we'll see. But I do think that at the end of the day, this is me looking to get on a spot with Tomlin. And oh, by the way,
You're taking the Steelers, right?
I'm going to take the Steelers. Yeah.
That is a disgusting act.
Enjoy.
I was scrap as I was playing that video. I was trying to pull up the injury report, just to confirm that my guy Pat Fryermuth's good. So yeah, he's limited. He practiced.
No,
I think that's a good matchup too. You were pointing that out to me, but I do think there could be some points in this game. I targeted. I love me some Devonta Smith, Claypool,
and
and Devonta Smith Pickens in game stacks.
No. To your point about them, like maybe controlling the game and not covering
it's
the
10
spread.
and a half. That's a big ass fucking
controlling the game and not covering the spread, which they've done, where they put up a ton of points in the second quarter historically.
Do you have that point differential?
No, it's crazy, and we broke it down in the Eagles podcast. I mean, some of it is kind of fluky. Like there are times where they're about to score at the end of the first quarter and just rolls over to the second quarter. Some of it's 2-minute drill stuff, whatever it is, and then they kind of. I wouldn't even say take their foot off the gas, but just like look to bleed clock, look to kind of like a python, just strangle the life out of the opponent and not necessarily light it up. I'm going to say, I'm predicting they're going to be a little bit more aggressive with the downfield passing game.
I think
big
they
AJ Brown game because of the matchup. So I think they're going to be working on some
you
more
like Brown,
aggressive
not
passing.
Smith, huh?
I always like AJ Brown, man.
No,
That
I mean,
guy's a
look,
fucking dog.
like even the nerds over at the Outsiders think this number should be bigger than 10 and a half. So
yeah, it should be 13.
I mean,
and a half.
it's the same argument you made. There's some elite teams, and maybe they're just going to crush everyone.
I mean, if you're a first half guy, this is a good
Will
game
the
too.
fans be focused on football with the World Series? Will they be dancing on their own? In the stands together. Tennessee heads to Houston. Oh boy, we got to pull out the newly minted AFC South flow chart that unfortunately steered us the wrong direction last week. I went back and looked at the tape though. It was one of the weaker trends on the flow chart. So Tennessee heads to Houston. Tennessee laying 1.5 -125 on the money line. Houston plus 105. 40.5 is the total. We're getting a Malik Willis game, I believe.
The line suggests that, right? Because if it's Ryan Tannehill, it's 4, right?
It's 3.5. Yeah, it's on the other side of 3.
I think it opened at 4 and,
Okay.
and got kind of bet down. This to me is just, and I mean, I'm just looking at Derrick Henry versus this Texans defense, and like their run defense was so bad. Like, look what they did to Josh Jacobs.
Derrick Henry's warming up to the point where he wins you fantasy leagues again. Like we're close.
I think, and Ryan, I wanted to find a way to put him in some lineups, and I'm going to between now and the end of the week. But a Malik Willis, Derrick Henry stack where they just throw the ball 10 times in the game, I think is very viable.
I think you have it wrong. I think you go back to the Davis Wells and you bring it back with Derrick Henry.
No,
Yeah.
I'm playing Malik Willis with the stack with Derrick Henry. I'm done with Davis Mills. Davis Mills, and the irony of the city of Houston hating me. Meanwhile, you and I have been like the biggest Texans and Davis Mills advocate. I'm off.
Even
man. when he was driving for that backdoor cover and he just fucking pegged the guy right in the hands, the defender with the ball, and they took a pick 6. I'm out. I'm off the Texans ship. I'm off the Texans scent. Derrick Henry last 3 games against the Texans: 32 for 211 and 3 touchdowns, 22 for 212 and 2 touchdowns, 34 for 250 and 2 touchdowns.
Is that good?
They don't have the personnel to slow him down. Titans have won 4 out of the last 5 meetings.
Houston has covered 16 of 22. And
okay, but I think this line is tiny.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? At home, they're 9-2 ATS Houston against Tennessee in their last since we've been doing the podcast, but I think that involves a lot of bigger chalk. So I don't know, man. Like honestly, I was coming to this fully prepared to fade this Tennessee team because I don't think they're very good, but I do think this could just be a game where Derrick Henry takes care of business. The flow chart would tell you to take Houston here. Do I go back? Do I stay true to the flow chart one more time before I tear it up and burn it?
I'm not betting Houston. Fuck them. I'm done.
I have to stay true to my Malik Willis isn't very good, and he's going to play his first game and be a favorite. Sean, come on, this isn't our first time betting on NFL games.
No, but I think he's not going to play quarterback, Ryan. He's going to play like wing back. He's gonna be a running back. They're gonna run the Giants offense if Saquon Barkley was quarterback. Like, what are you talking about? The guy's gonna throw the ball 10 times.
Say his name. Dan Jones.
Dan Jones.
5th in the league in 10+ yard runs. Suck it. That was the first afternoon.
So you're going Houston?
Yeah, Houston.
Wow.
I'm an Astros guy, right? 125 kick on the West Coast. The Giants head to Seattle, where the Seahawks are 3-point favorites, -160 on the money line, +130 for the Giants. Since the Giants have been slaying all these fucking predators, these animal murderers.
I didn't think they're playing the Browns and Deshaun Watson, right?
You're bringing me to my joke. The only team they didn't defeat isn't a predator, a cowboy, unless you frequent West Hollywood on the right nights. All right, this is my duck hunting jacket because I don't recognize a Seahawk. It's just a fucking water duck. Seahawks -3, -160, 45 is the total. I mean, how many times does Dan Jones and this team have to pull the horseshoe out of his ass and make second half adjustments? Dable, Wink, Kafka, run the ball down your fucking throat. What have we seen from this Seattle defense that makes you think they're going to be able to slow down the Giants' running attack?
Oh, okay. I actually have an answer for that. One, they figured out a lot of stuff on the defense. Two, you watch this Giants offense. I was watching Paul V's breakdown. They're running wing T. They're running power I. They're running traditional college offense stuff, right? Like old school college offense stuff. And who is uniquely prepared to shut down a college offense? An all-time college football coach like Pete Carroll, Ryan. This is an amazing.
They're not running college offense.
The wing
They're
T?
running basic like power concepts out of the shotgun and out of read pass, run pass.
Right, stuff
options.
that college teams run.
Yeah, but it's not wing T.
No, it is wing T.
They're not running like no, you're wrong. They ran 8 straight fucking I formation power fullback runs to end the game against Jacksonville. Period. Watch the tape. I'm a tape guy. Sean,
I did.
So yeah, I mean, I think both teams should be able to run on each other. And I think
Ken Walker is going to light this team up. The Giants have been it's been a fun story. This is a back-to-back road game.
Seahawks fly is a thing. You feel good about that?
No, that's not a thing. This is a crazy travel spot for the Giants as well. You're going all the way down to Jacksonville, then all the way up to Seattle.
What the fuck are you talking about right now?
Geno Smith is.
You want me to hand you the straw? You're reaching hard for it.
What do you mean?
You're grasping.
Grasping for straw?
The last time they went on a nice long flight, built some fucking culture, they put Aaron Rodgers in the ground and shoved cheese up his fucking ass.
It's a horrible spot for the Giants. Seahawks all day. Potential lock here.
Never forget.
Ken Walker,
I knew you would forget this. Never forget why the Giants fans hate Geno Smith. He ended Eli Manning's consecutive start streak.
That is a great nugget.
This is fuck.
Are
this
the Giants fans going to play?
This means more. There will be some Giants. I mean, there were a shitload of Giants fans in Jacksonville. There'll be some in
Seahawks
Seattle.
fans will show up. It's loud in there.
They like money too. They don't,
What does that mean?
They're going to sell their tickets.
Oh, okay. All right.
Go check it out. I see you're on Seattle.
Oh yeah,
as
I love
a favorite.
Seattle here.
As a favorite,
3-point home favorite. Yep, love it.
So Dan Jones has to keep winning as a dog. My favorite thing about how the Giants are horseshoe up their ass, worst 5-6-1 team ever, is they keep outperforming the market. Like, what's going on? As a dog, they keep winning. So who's wrong? Suck it. San Francisco. Oh, my
small
goodness.
sample size.
Absolutely, but also you're wrong. Just accept you're wrong. Niners -1.5. Down in Los Angeles against the Rams, +105 on the money line for the Rams, -125 for the Niners. 43.5 is the total. I mean, this is almost flowchart-esque with the way McVay and Shanahan generally end their games. I'm a little worried about this Niners team. They might just be like, this might be the beginning of the end.
Niners, dude.
This might be the beginning of the end. They're getting rid of all their picks. I mean, we might have to check in with Katie in a couple weeks because if they don't win this game,
they just own the Rams. Though it's really hard to take the Rams. I think the case for the Rams they're a desperate team. They're former Super Bowl champs. They had 2 weeks to prepare for this 49ers team. Christian McCaffrey, I think, is going to get a ton of work. Debo, who's really been huge in these past iterations of this game, he's been dealing with a hamstring issue. The Rams losing they lost another offensive lineman. To me, man, that is so tough, especially now 1 week more for Bosa to get completely healthy.
That's the handicap.
I want to get cute and take the Rams, but I'm going to have to go Niners here. I assume the public is all over the 49ers, right?
Yeah, we haven't even gotten any money splits.
The Rams offensive line is just so bad. I just can't take them. And Christian McCaffrey, didn't he have a really good game against the Rams?
And McVay off the bye. I mean,
how's McVay been off the bye?
Worth noting, he's been good. I don't have the exact numbers, but it's a positive trend. The other angle here is the Niners coming off a game where Kansas City put up an all-time offensive performance. It's one of 8 times that a single game DVOA went north of 100%. So, I guess there's a little bit.
This is what McCaffrey did against the Rams, knowing that he was their entire offense. 13 for 69 rushing, 7 catches for 89 yards. I think McCaffrey is a tough matchup for this Rams team.
Yeah, the concern is just pressure up the middle is what Jimmy G gets in trouble with. Yeah, it's Aaron Donald. But yeah, there will be a pick 6. That's what Stafford will throw pick 6.
I mean, really, it's just Stafford turning the ball over. I think that last offensive lineman, and I'm blanking on his name.
Who? One of these teams will not make the playoffs. Which one doesn't make the playoffs?
Yeah, I still like the 49ers to get things right.
Slightly.
Note boom, lost for the season towards Achilles. Last game before the bye. I just don't think they have any sort of offensive line that can handle this 49ers defensive line. And it's a bounce back spot for the 49ers, so I like the Niners here.
Yeah, this is a tough spot. I'll take the Niners just based on the history, but I don't love it. But it does seem like San Francisco's got to bounce back at some point. And maybe they were looking ahead last week. I doubt it. But all right, since Carolina's not playing in the late window, we had to put a shitty game here. Washington against the Colts. Colts are somehow minus. So we have 2 first-time NFL starters who weren't drafted in the first round or even the second round. They're both laying points. Indy -3, -155, 130. For the Redskins, 39.5 is the total. This is a snap play for me. Washington football team. Give me the Commanders. See what I did there? I gave them all 3 names. I'm gonna confuse people.
You're taking the Commanders automatically here.
Okay, so I get it. Matt Ryan was really bad. Does that mean this guy has to be an upgrade? Why weren't they playing him if he was an upgrade?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like a desperate Colts team at home,
Sean,
getting that backup quarterback bump. And is there a chance we see Nick Foles, Ryan? That's really what I'm struggling with.
If you can't beat out Matt Ryan in camp and he's throwing the ball like that,
come on. They were never gonna. They traded for Matt Ryan. This is the fact that they. I mean,
okay. So
let's look at it the other way.
Good luck.
The fact that they cut the cord with Matt Ryan this quick.
He's hurt. No, he's hurt.
No, he's not.
He's hurt, but he won't be back. He's hurt.
They went out of their way to say. I can you remember a time?
18 million on the cap for them.
Where they said he's definitely not starting the rest of the season. I can't remember that. This Ellinger kid. I think
Matt Ryan went up to the farm with your mother. He won't be coming back.
I think this Ellinger kid is going to scramble around a ton, make some put his body on the line, get clocked a couple times, and pull a horseshoe out of his ass. I'm taking Sam Ellinger.
If they could block and run the ball, I would believe you.
Yeah. This is a fading the Commanders on the road. I mean, I watched Taylor Heineke. I watched some of those throws that he chucked up and was very fortunate.
Like Taylor Heineke, probably a more accurate quarterback than Ellinger in college. So
we're gonna find out come Sunday, right? Well, and I think Ellinger is going to run a ton. We're gonna see a bunch of third downs that he converts with his legs.
I think he'll use his legs, but I would, before you put a large sum of money on this, I would encourage you to watch a little bit of his tape at Texas. Like I don't think
I broke down his preseason tape, Ryan.
Okay. Anything you like?
Yeah, no, he keeps his eye downfield. He steps up in the pocket.
He'll use his legs. That's the best thing he has.
If the Commanders had an amazing you know, if they had an amazing defense, I think I might be a little more intrigued, but I think Washington's going to get pressure and he's going to scramble. Like we see this all the time. We saw this just with Taylor Heineke last week. The backup quarterback gives the team a bump. I don't think that team hated Matt Ryan.
They liked him.
No,
Remember?
they didn't, dude.
Pittman said he could put it anywhere he wanted to.
Watch their body language after he threw that pick six. They did not like Matt Ryan. They're getting a bump after this game.
Yeah, maybe, but it's crazy. You got to buy him at -3 to do it. That's an insane number. Green Bay Sunday Night Football heading to Buffalo. Why they didn't flex the Giants and the Seahawks, the only matchup between teams with winning records, Week 8. But instead, we have to watch the lowly Packers head to Buffalo, coming off the bye, and probably get their ass fucking kicked. -11, -575 on the money line. Green Bay +425. 47.5 is the total. Exactly what the team needed. Aaron Rodgers said. Isn't he part of the problem?
He takes.
You look at his underlying numbers, his ADOT, any sort of underlying advanced number. Aaron Rodgers is having one of the worst seasons of his career.
Dude, the potential trades that the Packers have been linked to. They're asking about
AJ Green.
Did you see was it Donald Driver? They were going to try and talk out of retirement.
I mean, Kenny Galladay is available.
I do think that Rodgers, his thumb issue is a bit of an issue. He's also just got that sour puss. It does, like watching him, it feels like he almost doesn't want the play to succeed, to like prove some point of like, see, they don't know what they're doing.
It is.
Look. Okay, you want me to run this play? All right, I ran it. Yep. See, he dropped the ball, and he's like whipping the ball at guys. Again, it reminds me.
He doesn't respect Matt LaFleur.
He doesn't respect Matt LaFleur. He doesn't respect Romeo Doubs, clearly. And again, coming back, it reminds me of LeBron James when he found out Delonte West was having sex with his mom. He's like, "Oh, okay, yeah,
Great
there
call.
you go, great play,
Yeah.
set you up." And then he's just like, "Oh, I'm pass first."
Who has better wide receivers, the Packers or the Giants?
I mean,
Daniel Jones doesn't have a problem.
Packers do have Robert Tonyan.
Yeah,
I do like that.
Giants tight end just got his eye gouged. Won't be playing anymore this year.
That was gross.
All right, so
Bill, to me, Buffalo is the #1 defensive DVOA, and that's what is so scary about this Buffalo team. I feel like I'm the only one of the few guys talking about how good the Bills' defense is, and really what's kind of separating them from the rest of the NFL right now is that defense. I just don't see how the Packers are going to put up many points.
And to your point, the thumb injury, like the thumb is what keeps me off of, because
the back against the wall.
Does our main character need one more big defeat before he can come back this season on the National Football? I gotta take the plus. Adam would give me shit if I kept picking against the Bills, but as much as I like to take dogs,
Ryan, you're taking them. You're making your first ever Bills selection on the podcast.
Yeah.
Breaking news. We should put out a press release. Ryan picks on the side of the Buffalo Bills ATS. First time 2022.
I mean, if Dable can do it with Dan Jones and the receivers the Giants have,
it's amazing. You just keep finding ways to. You're like Bill Simmons when he's just like, this reminds me of some basketball bullshit.
How dare you on this podcast?
Your ability to come back to the Giants is impressive, right? I always get the homer mark. But
it's important to create that baseline and continually bring it back to the baseline so everyone understands what the fuck I'm talking about. Say his name. All right. And this
so
one,
you're on the Bills.
I'm on the Bills. And you wouldn't believe it, Sean, but actually Green Bay, more tickets are being written for Green Bay right now.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it's Rodgers' biggest spread all time. But as we've seen with Tom Brady, that doesn't stop these guys from fucking it up.
What is the one piece of data? Like Father Time always wins, and these quarterbacks, when they go bad quick. We continually see it, and basically the more elite you are, the longer it may take, but it's still always abrupt. Yeah. Look at Peyton Manning. I mean, I think we might see. Is this what we're seeing it with Tom Brady? Aaron Rodgers, like he is hurt. I don't think he's fallen off the cliff. But if this was the beginning of the fall, would it be surprising? No.
For Aaron Rodgers, no.
He won the MVP back-to-back years. So
it's a little surprising, but yeah.
All right. Yeah, but so to that point, 60% on Green Bay.
Love
but
that
70% of the money on the Bills. So sharp guys like us. Bengals, they're heading to Cleveland. Just a battle of Ohio, Sean. The Bengals are laying 3.5. They're back. We got the Harambe jersey. Everything is right.
It is fun.
What is the record since we received the jersey?
I think they're undefeated. I'll have to double check with Justin
Let's
Wood.
check that shipping date. Minus 200 for the Bengals, plus 165 for the Browns. 46.5 is the total. But isn't the book on the Bengals that you worry about them when they're going to face a pass rush?
Yeah.
And they're coming off another game where things looked great because Atlanta didn't really have that pass rush.
But can the Browns rush the passer? They're ninth worst in pass rush rate.
I think from a like, do they have talent to do it? Yes. Have they done it this year? Yeah, they've been. I mean, their sack rate has them.
Brian, while you're pulling that up, listen to this amazing nugget. The Browns' record in the 64 games with Baker Mayfield on the roster, 32-32. The Browns' record in the last 64 games without Baker Mayfield, 9-55.
Why'd they get rid of that guy?
I mean, I get it, but also like that just looks really, really bad. Browns have kind of owned the Bengals. They've won last 7 of the 8 games. Like even last year when the Bengals were good,
Cleveland has an above average sack rate. You know, you'd be worried about them if this turned into a game where they're gonna like the Bengals run the ball down their throat, which maybe we see a Joe Mixon game. It just seems like their success is coming from them lining up in the shotgun and having Burrow throw it all over the field, which kind of feeds into the bit of defense that the Browns can do a little bit better.
Yeah, I mean, so Browns beat them both times last year, 41-16. You'll remember in Cincinnati, they just destroyed that team, and that was like kind of Cincinnati bottoming out. And then they beat them as well at home, but I don't think the Bengals played their starters because they had it locked up then. But possibly a revenge aspect for the Bengals here.
I mean, it's another spot where, you know, my instincts are like, well, I guess we're laying the 3.5, but I haven't laid the 3.5 a single time this week. And, you know, honestly, I'm gonna lean towards, I think Cleveland can get some of it done here. And I think, for fuck's sake, give the ball to Nick Chubb.
What's annoying is like they have the talent to get it done. I'm just hung up on the idea of Will Stefanski.
He's kind of an
the
idiot.
Plays to get it done, right? Because you go on Browns Twitter, you talk to Browns fans, it's like, God damn it, just keep giving the ball to Nick Chubb. And they were fortunate, I think, in a lot of ways to get that cover last week. You know, I did lock them up, Ryan, against the Ravens. That was a close your eyes special. But yeah, man, this one's tough because my heart goes.
They're trapping you into Cleveland.
My heart goes division home dog. I'm going to lay the 3.5. I'm going to take Cincinnati minus 3.5. I see the case for Cleveland. I just feel like it's a little too cute. I don't trust Stefanski to run the ball enough.
Cleveland looking to the bye. A lot of teams looking to the bye this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand why I should be. Oh, you are taking them. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll flip. I'll take the other side. You nailed it. The franchise has done well, but really this is just, I think we just watch Joe Burrow when there's no pass rush, and everything looks great when there's no pass rush.
Yeah. And I guess I think their offensive line is also playing a little bit better. I think they're going to be able to get enough out of Joe Burrow. Shout out to Alex Peroni in the YouTube chat saying Packers money line, Dylan 2 touchdown game.
I mean, you know, good luck. This Buffalo team is, I mean, they're going to lay some eggs. It's just not going to be at home coming off a bye at night.
Yeah.
And they don't stop. They don't take their foot off the gas.
It'd be one thing if they were just that offensive team that we've seen the past couple of years, but their defense is taking another jump this year. So I'm all in on the Bills.
Let's do it.
Time for the Lock Dog Tease presented by WinBet. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com /WinBet. Kramer, let it rip.
All right. Well, no, you went first last week. Keep it going.
Yeah, and you said you didn't do well, so
that's fine. I don't believe in that kind of juju.
But then you just told me to go first.
Yeah, like you went first last week. Keep it going. You did well last week.
I did all right. I don't know if I did well. All right, what are we gonna do here?
Or I mean, if you'd like me to go first, I can go first.
The problem is the moneyline dog situation is not totally ideal this week because You know what? I'm gonna take Arizona on the money line. I think that is a sneaky spot for them to actually upset the Vikings. Arizona Cardinals plus 165 on the money line for my locks. Oh man, you know what? I got to do it. I'm gonna take New England minus 2.5. Maybe it's chalky as hell, but
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
just lean into the fact that Belichick just owns the Jets, and no Brees Hall, no Elijah Vera Tucker. Like it just feels like such a rough spot for them.
Don't mind that.
Yeah, what else do I? You know what? I gotta do it, Ryan. Give me Seattle minus 3.
Whoa.
Dan Jones' experience comes to a screeching halt.
Wow.
Just watching Ken Walker against that team is
Last time they had a 6-hour flight, Sean. Good things happened. Culture was built.
All right, for my teas. Let's see. I'm gonna take Saints up to 7.5. Although I don't know, I feel like our friend Wong has not been doing.
Horrible week last week. I think Wong teasers have like 2 or 3 big losing weeks.
Yeah,
like many legs losing.
Buffalo down to 5. New Orleans up to 7.5. And then I do want to get involved in that Tennessee game, but the Malik Willis thing is scaring me slightly as to not making it my lock. And then last but not least, I will toss in Chicago Bears plus 6, 15, take it up to 15.5. Let's go. Fuck the Cowboys, Ryan.
Done.
15.5 is a lot against this Bears team.
Give me the Jags in London.
That is spicy. I like it though.
Give me the predatory birds that will be winning this Sunday. The Atlanta Falcons minus 4.5 as my second lock.
I like it. I knew you were going to lock them up. I could see the glint in your eye when you were doing the handicap.
Come on, way too much movement there. Dog, give me the Washington Commandos.
Commies.
Plus 130.
Okay.
Love Heineke on the road here.
Hey, please, someone mark that tape.
Tease.
Yeah.
All right, let's. I feel like I'm gonna zig on the teasers because things have not been going well with Wong. All right, but that I say that, and then I'm gonna go Houston plus 7.5. Actually, no Houston.
Don't put them in there.
No, Buffalo minus 6, minus
Minus
5.
five.
Sorry, can't do math. Give me New Orleans plus 7.5,
Yeah.
and give me I'm with you with Arizona. I'll just put that up to 9.5.
That feels good. All right. So for our circa million slate, Jacksonville minus 2.5.
You're gonna be dancing on your own when Seahawks lose.
New England minus 2.5. Atlanta minus 4.5. Then let's figure out what else we agree on. Arizona.
Oh, you can put
3.
Seattle in there.
Really? You want to play Seattle on the card?
Locked it up. I don't want to.
All right. Seattle minus 3.
I'm gonna blame you for it if it loses, but that's fine.
I feel good about it.
All right, pick a dog.
We need a dog in here, right?
I mean, I know which dog I would take.
Do we want Arizona?
Yeah.
Because you put them in the tees. Arizona plus 3.5.
And shout out to D Bettis in the chat. It gives me it makes my heart warm that Dan Jones is playing so well that people are telling him to go fuck himself. That's just beautiful. It's beautiful.
He's an Eagles fan. Go Birds. He's the kid with the.
Is he dancing on his own too? What's your take on this horrible song, D Bettis?
We got to ask about it. What his son likes for a parlay card.
Yeah. I'm assuming he's going to tease the whole slate.
For me, we've been giving out these money line round robins, right? I'm going to keep it simple. Just a Bears, Arizona, Chicago, Arizona money line parlay.
Ooh, you don't want to throw a third leg in there.
No, because I don't think you need to. The Bears are 9.5. I'm not going to round robin. Just a simple money line dog parlay. Bears, Arizona. That's what I'm tossing out.
Dan Campbell back against the wall game. Throw Detroit in it for me, and I'll round robin that shit.
Okay, so you're gonna do the round robin of Chicago.
Maybe I should do Pittsburgh. No,
Arizona and Detroit as a round robin.
Yes.
All right. Hell yeah, let's go, baby.
I also plan on having a first half parlay.
Stay tuned.
I also plan on having some props. We're doing a prop show tomorrow, Sean.
Yep, prop show and then pregame show. I think. Are we gonna do audio only on the Discord?
Stay tuned.
All right. Stay tuned. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. We're going to be on the road. Again, if you're going to the A&M game, against Ole Miss. Hit us up, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/discord. Again, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, comment on a video, and that counts as an entry to win an autographed jersey of either Lawrence Taylor or Brian Dawkins. I'm rocking a sweet Dawkins jersey. Should probably pick Dawkins. Hey, World Series prop contest available in the app.
Thank
Sean.
you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
And who knows? Maybe we'll get to play for Texas A&M if all the players transfer by Saturday.
It is. Put it this way: I'm regretting buying our tickets 2 weeks ago. Should have waited the extra week. Not a plus EV play. For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green, and he is Ryan.
Go Giants.
Kramer. Let it ride.